Health inspectors have linked the tainted ice cream to the machine that caused the Listeria outbreak. That machine was used to make these 10 products supplied to the food service industry, not to grocery stores. We've also learned that machine was shut down days, if not weeks, before the recall after health inspectors found Listeria during an inspection. Bluebell CEO said the tainted products were all removed, but not soon enough, it appears. 5 people became sick and 3 died in Kansas. Health officials warn there could be more cases.
Symptoms can appear 3 to 70 days after consuming this bacteria, and we continue to monitor the situation.
The largest nationwide Listeria outbreak was back in 2011, when 33 people died from tainted cantaloupe.
Food safety mistakes can have devastating consequences, and sometimes from the most unexpected places. In 2006, 2 people in Toronto were paralyzed after drinking contaminated carrot juice. That really showed how even familiar foods can hide invisible hazards. Almost a decade later, the United States faced another chilling event. This time, the creamy sweetness of America's favorite dessert. Ice cream. This is the story of Listeria monocytogenes and the Multistate outbreak linked to Bluebell Creameries. Listeria monocytogenes is a gram-positive, rod-shaped, non-spore-forming bacterium. It is facultative anaerobic, so it grows with or without oxygen. And it's psychotrophic, meaning it can grow even at refrigeration temperatures, from 0.4 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius, with an optimum growth at 37 degrees Celsius. That feature makes Listeria especially dangerous in ready-to-eat refrigerated foods, like ice cream, cheese, or deli meats. According to Appendix 4 of the FSPCA manual, its growth stops below pH 4.4 or water activity under 0.92. Thermal inactivation requires 72 degrees Celsius or 158 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 minutes to achieve a 6 log reduction. Although pasteurization destroys it, contamination after heating can make food hazardous again.
The infection caused by this microorganism is listeriosis, a disease that may look mild in healthy people but can be deadly for the vulnerable. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, nausea, and diarrhea. In severe cases, Listeria invades the bloodstream or the brain, causing septicemia or meningitis. In pregnant women, it can lead to miscarriage or stillbirth. The incubation period is usually long, for 3 to 70 days, which makes outbreaks hard to trace. Between 2010 and 2015, 10 confirmed cases appeared in 4 U.S. states: Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arizona, and 3 people died. Researchers soon noticed something strange. Several patients had eaten Bluebell ice cream during their hospital stay.
When health officials tested the ice cream samples, they found Listeria monocytogenes. The CDC and the FDA traced the contamination to 3 Bluebell plants in Texas, Oklahoma, and Alabama. The organism was discovered on equipment and drains in post-pasteurization areas, meaning contamination occurred after the heating step. Listeria can persist for years in cool, wet environments by forming biofilms that can resist cleaning. In April 2015, Bluebell issued its first ever nationwide recall. Production stopped for months, and over 1,400 employees were laid off. And the company later paid a $19 million fine for distributing contaminated products. The outbreak became a landmark case that reshaped how frozen food plants handle Listeria risk.
How can such disasters be prevented? Well, let's look what the Food Safety Preventive Controls Alliance Appendix 4 and Good Manufacturing Practices recommend.
Temperature control. Keep foods below 4 degrees Celsius and limit storage to less than 7 days, since Listeria can grow slowly even near 0 degrees. Thermal process. Maintain at least 70 degrees Celsius for 2 minutes for full inactivation. Environmental sanitation. Remove condensation and standing water in cold rooms. Use chlorine or quaternary ammonium sanitizers that can penetrate biofilms. Zoning. Separate raw and post-pasteurization areas and test the environment regularly through an environmental monitoring program. Personal hygiene. Prevent cross-contamination via clothing, tools, or workers moving between zones. Refrigeration alone isn't enough. Prevention depends on eliminating contamination sources and maintaining rigorous cleaning.
The bluebell outbreak became a painful lesson. 3 lives were lost, and a century-old brand almost collapsed. But it also triggered positive change. The FDA strengthened guidance for listeria, environmental monitoring, and companies across the industry improved their sanitation controls. Bluebell eventually returned to the market under stricter safety programs and constant microbial testing. The ice cream that once froze the nation's trust now stands as a reminder that food safety must be preventive, not reactive.
From the company's perspective, Bluebell acted responsibly once the problem was detected. The organism is incredibly persistent and difficult to eliminate. Yet, from the consumer's perspective, stronger monitoring and faster communication could have saved lives. In the end, both sides agree on one truth. Protecting public health requires continuous vigilance, transparency, and a culture of prevention.
Bluebell, the subject of a CBS News investigation this fall. CBS News has learned the Department of Justice has started an investigation into Bluebell after their ice cream was linked to a deadly listeria outbreak earlier this year. 3 people died. An FDA investigation found listeria in 3 of Bluebell's production plants in Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas, as well as records indicating the company knew one plant was contaminated at least as early as 2013. The FDA investigation uncovered other troubling problems, including condensation dripping directly into ice cream and unsanitary equipment. In April, Bluebell shut down all 3 production facilities and recalled all its ice cream. Sources tell CBS News the Justice Department is trying to determine what Bluebell management knew about potentially deadly hazards in their plants and when they knew it. In October, Gerald Bland, who worked at the Bluebell factory in Brenham, Texas, described to CBS News unsanitary conditions on the factory floor.
On the wall by the 3-gallon machine. If it had rained real hard and water set on the roof, it would just trickle down that wall.
Rainwater?
Yeah.
From the roof?
From the roof.
Would get into the factory?
Yeah.
Another worker, Terry Schultz, told us that his complaints to management about unclean conditions went nowhere.
The response I got at one point was, is that all you're going to do is come in here and bitch every afternoon?
What do you think his message to you was?
Production is probably more important than cleanliness.
All 3 of Bluebell's plants are now back up and running, and by the end of next month, its ice cream will be back on the shelves in 15 states. Bluebell did not respond to our requests for comment today. This investigation into Bluebell is being led by the same Justice Department lawyer who prosecuted the Peanut Corporation of America. The company's owner, Stuart Parnell, got 28 years for shipping salmonella-contaminated peanut products. That is the longest sentence